Hey everybody, I just got my new Garmin Instinct Solar Crossover watch. Just took it out of the box, getting ready to turn it on for the first time. And I started thinking maybe I should do a video and show people what it's like when you first turn on this watch from Garmin. The reason I think it's important, the reason I think it's beneficial is if you're somebody like me, I'm not a smartwatch kind of guy. I usually use Casio G-Shocks, Casio Pro Treks. Smartwatches don't really appeal to me, but you might be somebody out there who you like your smartwatches, you like your Apple Watch, you also like your Casio G-Shock watches. I think the Garmin Instinct does a good job of giving you the best of both worlds. The nice thing about the Garmin Instinct is if you don't want to use any of the smartwatch features at all, like on an Apple Watch, you really don't have to. This watch offers a lot of features without using smartwatch at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel the plastic off. We're going to turn it on for the first time. We're going to go through the setup, and I'm going to show you your options with regards to smartwatch functionality. So to turn it on for the first time, your power button is going to be your top left button. It's also your control button. I'm going to press it for a couple seconds, and you'll notice the watch is turning on. Now, I have had the Garmin Instinct watches before. I actually had the Garmin Instinct 1, the Garmin Instinct 1 Solar, and then I went to the Garmin Instinct 2 Solar. Personally, I like the Garmin Instinct 1 Solar better than the Garmin Instinct 2, really more of just a personal preference. I liked the crossover because of the analog hands, and that's why I went back to the Garmin Instinct series. So you can see when I first turned it on, the analog hands get out of the way, and I get to choose my language. I'm going to go ahead, you've got your up button and your down button on the left-hand side. You can go through your different languages. The line out to the side shows you the language that you're on. Hopefully you're going to be able to see this okay. Let me see if I can get some better light down here. When you want to select it, you're going to press the top right button. So I'm going to choose English as my language. This is where I was saying if you're not really a smartwatch guy, you can simply bypass this. It's asking you whether or not you want to pair the watch with a phone. I can press the top right button to say yes, or I can press the bottom left button to say no. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say no. Now, if you're buying the Garmin Instinct watch and you're not planning on using it with your phone, you're going to be missing out on some functionality. Things like pulling in your weather data, pulling in your cell phone notifications. You're not going to be able to do that without being connected to your cell phone. But the Garmin Instinct does give you a lot of features that have nothing to do with your cell phone at all. Your time, your activity tracking, things like steps, floors climbed, your moon phase, your barometer, your compass, your altimeter, all of that stuff. You don't need your cell phone at all for. It's all delivered and uses the sensors on the watch's heart rate information, all of that kind of stuff. So the next question it's asking me is distance, miles or kilometers. Again, I could switch that. I'm going to go ahead and choose miles in my case. The next thing it's asking is what do I want my time format in? I'll show you the options. I can do 12-hour, 24-hour, or military. I'm going to choose 12-hour. Ask me my date format. Do I want day, month, year, month, day, year, year, month, date? Choose whichever one's appropriate. Now it's going to ask me some questions for my activity tracking. Gender, male or female. My year of birth, so 1976 in my case, my height. All of this you want to make sure you've got accurate because things like your body battery, your calories, your sleep tracking, all of that kind of stuff, your stress levels, will all come from your personal profile data as well as some of the other analytics that the sensors are pulling in. And then my weight, about now it's asking me how do I want to set the time. Because I didn't connect it to my cell phone, I need to either use the GPS on the watch or I can manually set my time. Basically, it would be just like having a Casio G-Shock or another quartz watch, something like this, where you can set the time manually. What we'll go ahead and do here is I'm going to use the GPS. And you can see it's acquiring a GPS satellite. Now I'm sitting inside right now, so it might take me a second before I catch GPS signal. You'll notice I'm getting this message that says GPS signal is stronger outside, away from trees and tall buildings. It's basically telling me, hey, you might want to go get a better signal. But I think in a couple of minutes we should get a signal. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes actually that I've been sitting here and this screen has not changed at all. The GPS bar up at the top started moving. It basically got a little bit in and it's been sitting here. So instead of making you sit here and wait, I'm going to go ahead and set the time manually. It's kind of weird. I've had the Instinct 1, I've had the Instinct 2. I've sat with both of those watches in this exact same spot in my house, and I was able to connect to the GPS with no problems. With this crossover, I'm not even getting close to connecting to the GPS. So I'm not sure, maybe it's the weather conditions, or maybe the GPS just isn't as strong on this unit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and press the back button. I'm going to back out of the GPS setting, and instead I'm going to just go down and set the time manually. When you choose that, it's basically going to ask me what the time is. So let's see. It is 7, oops. I need to use the up or down. 7:52 p.m. and I've successfully set my time. Now remember, at this point, it's really not even a smartwatch. I haven't connected to my cell phone at all. I've basically set my time. We can see that my analog hands are showing my time. I've got my date set. Well, I haven't set my date yet, actually. I've actually just got my time set. The reason I was saying it's kind of a cool watch for people who don't like smartwatches is I can press the up or down button. There's a lot of things you can do here without your smartwatch at all. So I can look at my solar charging. I can look at sunrise and sunset information. I can look at my activity tracking, or in this case, my last sport, my step tracking, heart rate data, body battery, sleep data, and then I can go add lots of other things in here. So like my step tracking, my heart rate, my body battery, sleep, altimeter, barometer, compass, alternate time zone, altimeter, barometer, calendar. Now, the calendar, you would have to have your smartwatch connected to that. Calories burned, compass. So for example, I'm just going to add the compass real quick. There's lots of other things in there. Oops. Let me go back. Well, I guess I didn't add the compass. Let me go and add it. So you can see now I'm in my compass mode and I'm using the compass on the watch. Again, none of that has to do with your cell phone. All of those features are delivered on the watch. I really don't, even with my previous Instinct watches, I really didn't use the cell phone for too much. If I was going to be at work and going to be in meetings and I wanted to get notifications or text messages, I would connect to the cell phone. For the most part, I never really did it unless I was doing updates or unless I was trying to sync my information to my Garmin Connect account. This watch does connect to the Garmin IQ app, so if you're wanting to download additional watch faces, you would have to have your cell phone connected for that kind of thing. You could also use a computer. You don't have to do it with a cell phone. But anyway, that is a quick look at starting with the Garmin Instinct Crossover straight out of the box, turning it on, and setting it without connecting to a cell phone. I hope the video helps, gives you an idea of how the Instinct Crossover works. Thanks for watching.